Hey girls, hey! Hey boys, hey! It's Mama Beauties here, coming at you with the update on today's trial with Patrick Frazee, another crazy Colorado man. And he did this like a few months after Chris did what he did in Colorado, and so it makes me wonder if he saw Chris's video footage and all of that on the porch. Now, today on November 5th, we had Patrick's brother, Sean Frazee, take the stand. And he actually is a Colorado police officer himself. And he testified today. And he admits that he didn't know what to think when Kelsey disappeared, because he did not know her that well. So, whether you know somebody that well or not, if your brother's fiance just comes up missing and he doesn't report her missing at all, I would be more than concerned. He was actually described as looking just like Patrick, but he had a mustache. I did not get to see a picture of him, but that's how they described him in the research that I did. And they say that he's distant from his brother. He says they're not on bad terms, but they're just not close. And he admits to seeing his brother on Thanksgiving. And the day that Patrick gave police his phone, he admits to seeing him that day as well. He says that Patrick arrived at his mom's ranch around 5 p.m. on Thanksgiving. Now, he got there, his brother, at 2:30, and they had already eaten and everything, so Patrick missed the meal and showed up around 5 or 5:30, he's saying. And he brought Kaylee with him when he came. And after they had already ate, again, I told you, he had already told Sean prior to this that him and Kelsey had separated. And then he told him again on December 3rd that Cheryl, her mother, had reported her missing. He told Sean that she was away visiting her sick grandmother. And Sean says that they prayed for her to be found healthy and alive. Now, how would Patrick know that she was visiting her grandmother when that was the supposed text from Kelsey's? I mean, we all know it was staged from his mistress. His mistress sent a text from Kelsey's phone after Patrick murdered her, saying that she was going to visit her grandmother and that she needed a week off from work. What I'm saying is, if Patrick wants his story to be plausible, then he wouldn't know that. Only Kelsey's boss would know that. But the fact that he does know that just solidifies that he gave that story to the mistress to fake or stage. Also, the neighbor's surveillance captured Patrick on Thanksgiving at Kelsey's door 11 times that day, from 11 to 1:30 p.m. And more photos show him coming back at 4. And then at 1:23, Kelsey was last seen on foot on her neighbor's footage at her front door, carrying in flowers that, from according to receipts, she bought at Safeway Poinsettias. And she was seen around 1:23 with Patrick and Kaylee walking into her house. And this was caught on the neighbor's surveillance. Now, that was her last known image, you guys. And she also was carrying in a car seat. Now, the public defender said that the camera was not accurately taking images, and because of different shadows not adding up, that they thought that the camera was delayed. And the public defender points out that never on the camera do you see Patrick carrying out this black tote that he supposedly has been accused of by the mistress of putting his child's mother's body in and carrying it out. Now, the black tote, a specialist testified, or an expert witness testified, that there is a a void area on the camera, and so you can't see anything from Kelsey's doorknob to her front door down. So, of course, we wouldn't see the black tote because it's going to fall under that below the doorknob. So, there's a void on the camera. Now, also, the ATM footage, though, a little after noon shows that black box in the back of his red truck. It also caught him at a local furniture store on surveillance. That black box was in, it had moved positions between 1:30 p.m. and 4:30 p.m. So the black box was seen at the ATM, and then later on it was seen in the furniture store footage, and it was in a different position in the truck. And that is what prosecutors are saying. And the neighbor's camera was 16 feet from Kelsey's front door. And it says that after Kelsey enters into her residence, an image of him is caught at 124 with something in his hand, is what they said today in trial, as he closes the front door. Ooh, eerie. But they are also saying, the expert witness says, when you zoom in so much to see certain things in the footage, that it pixelates it so bad that they wouldn't be able to make out the bat or the box, or the box fell below the doorknob line. So there's lots of answers to why they didn't see the tote, the black tote that he had her body in, on the camera. And then it says 3 hours later at 4:20, he is pictured with his back to the camera holding Kaylee on that same neighbor's footage. And then 10 minutes later, he's spotted with his back towards the camera again. And it's the last time he is captured on the video at Kelsey's residence by the neighbor's camera. When Frazee's lawyers ask why he's not seen carrying out a tote to this expert witness, and that's when he talks about the void spot in the picture, and that between 4:24 and 4:32, the door is opened, and then it captures it closed. And then receipts and surveillance show that she was at Safeway from 12:02 to 12:27 purchasing those flowers, and I think they said bread dips. Frazee is seen at Walmart at 12:52 and pulled out of the parking lot at 1:13. And actually, Kelsey searched sweet potato casserole around 2:20 p.m. that day that she is being alleged that Patrick murdered her. So her last activity, she was seen going into her house around 1:30 something, and then she had spoke to her mom earlier that day about making Patrick sweet potato casserole, and so she searched it at 2:20, a recipe, and then Patrick's seen again on that neighbor's footage 11 times that day. And remember, he had said in an earlier testimony, or not testimony, but an earlier interview, that he had only went there midday to pick up his daughter. But here we have actual evidence that he was there all the way up until 4:30. His brother testified that at Thanksgiving dinner at their mom's, Patrick went outside to do some chores. And then they left around, I think they said 7 or 7:30. Cheryl says that Kelsey never said that her and Patrick broke up. And evidently the night before she was murdered, she was at Patrick's ranch until 4 a.m. and that she told her mother she was going to Walmart to get him some medicine. And then she actually, that same night, it shows her going in from the neighbor's surveillance that she has 16 feet away from Kelsey's store. It shows her actually going in at like 3:59. And when she goes in, she searches digestive issues and ulcers. So Patrick had her over the night before he killed her, pretending like he was sick, and got her to go get him medicine. She was so worried about it, she stayed there till 4 a.m. She came home, and she still was trying to find out how to help him by searching these things. And Patrick I already told you that. in court today, it came out that Patrick had agreed to $700 a month in child support that he would give Kelsey, but he had not paid it since July. Of course, this was not court ordered. It was just something that they had agreed upon. They also found custody papers in Patrick's home. It says that they had not been filed, but they were dated in August. So in August Patrick Frazee had custody papers drawn up, but he never filed them. So he was planning this since August or before because he had reason to want custody away from his daughter. So he already had this animosity and this built up whatever he had against her to get his mistress to try to kill her 3 times and to eventually himself deciding that he was going to kill her. And the whole thing that the mistress is saying is that he went over there to pick up his daughter and he blindfolded her, asked her to smell some mystery candles, and when she did, he bashed her head in with a bat and then texted his mistress and said, "You have a mess to clean up." And evidently she couldn't get there on Thanksgiving, so she left all of that mess in Kelsey's apartment for a day and a half. Then she came the next day, but it didn't matter because Patrick had already taken out Kelsey's body in this black tote that is seen on video surveillance being shifted in his back of his truck. They also found a tooth fragment when they dug up the farm where the mistress said that her and Patrick burned Kelsey's body. And so it is just crazy. And then Crystal isn't even, the mistress, isn't even going to spend a day in jail because she worked out some kind of plea deal to where she only got charged with tampering with evidence, even though she bought fully protective gear to go clean up this mess after Patrick murdered his fiance, mother of his child. She bought booties, a hairnet, everything. She went over there and she cleaned it up so good that the police didn't even see anything wrong with the place when they first went there, and canines did not even find anything when they first went there. It was actually Kelsey's brother that was getting ready to take a shower, seeing this blood from a different angle than everybody else had. It set off alarm bells, so then they went searching. The son came into the condo, and bam, they saw the smears on the leather couch. And then Crystal has the nerve to say that she left those bloodstains behind on purpose so that Patrick would get caught. Can you believe that? And the defense is, of course, saying that Crystal wanted to kill her. And it is just crazy. Another Colorado man that annihilates the woman he supposedly loves. It is such a sad, sad story. And we will be catching up. I actually printed out the discovery of their evidence and everything, and I need to be able to go through all of that. But I am still covering NK's interviews, so there's a lot to cover. And I just thank you for all my subscribers. I did finally get a cover today. You guys go check out my cover for my YouTube channel. And this is Mama Beauties here saying goodnight. I will talk to you guys soon. It won't be long till I go live, so have your questions ready.